Imagine looking up at the night sky. What do you see? The stars, of course. But there's one object that outshines them all: the moon. It's been there since the dawn of humanity, a constant companion in our cosmic journey. But what if it suddenly vanished? The moon is more than just a pretty nightlight. It's a crucial part of Earth's systems. It affects our tides, our climate, and even the length of our days. Its gravitational pull helps stabilize Earth's axis. This keeps our seasons relatively consistent. Without the moon, life as we know it would be very different. So what if it disappeared overnight? The effects would be immediate and far-reaching. Buckle up, space cadets. We're in for a wild ride through a world without our lunar friend. Let's start with something we can all relate to: the beach. You've probably noticed that the water level changes throughout the day. This is due to tides. And tides are primarily caused by the moon's gravitational pull. The moon tugs on Earth's oceans, creating bulges on opposite sides of the planet. As Earth rotates, these bulges move, creating high and low tides. Without the moon, our tides would be drastically different. They wouldn't disappear entirely. The sun also exerts a gravitational pull on Earth, but it's much weaker than the moon's. Solar tides would be about 1/3 the size of our current lunar tides. Imagine your favorite beach. Now picture it with much smaller waves, and much less variation between high and low tide. This change would have profound effects on coastal ecosystems. Many marine organisms rely on the rhythm of tides for feeding, breeding, and migration. Without strong tides, many of these habitats would vanish. Species that depend on them would have to adapt or perish. Tides play a role in ocean circulation patterns. With weaker tides, these circulation patterns would change. Now let's talk about something we take for granted: the length of our day. The moon acts like a stabilizing force on Earth's rotation. It keeps our planet from wobbling too much on its axis. Without the moon, Earth's tilt could vary wildly over time. This would lead to extreme changes in our seasons. Imagine winter lasting for decades, followed by equally long summers. The moon also slows down Earth's rotation. It's like a cosmic brake pad. Without it, our planet would spin faster. Our 24-hour day could shrink to about 6 to 12 hours. Think about how that would affect your daily routine. You might go to bed when the sun is high in the sky, and wake up in total darkness. Faster rotation would increase wind speeds. It could lead to more powerful storms. The rapid day-night cycle would affect plant growth. Many species rely on the current day-night rhythm for various biological processes. They would need to adapt quickly or face extinction. It's clear that the moon's role in stabilizing Earth's rotation is crucial for life as we know it. Let's turn our attention to something we all love to complain about: the weather. The moon plays a subtle but important role in Earth's climate system. Its gravitational pull doesn't just affect the oceans. It also influences our atmosphere. Without the moon, our weather patterns would change dramatically. The moon's gravity creates atmospheric tides. These are similar to ocean tides, but in the air. These tides help to mix the atmosphere. They distribute heat and moisture around the planet. Without them, we might see more extreme temperature differences between day and night, and between the equator and the poles. The moon also affects ocean currents. These currents play a crucial role in distributing heat around the globe. Without the moon's influence, these currents could change. This could lead to more extreme weather events. We might see more frequent and intense hurricanes, droughts, and floods. Areas that are currently temperate might become unbearably hot or cold. It's a stark reminder of how the moon helps maintain Earth's delicate climate balance. Section 5. Nocturnal confusion, wildlife in the dark. Now let's consider our furry, feathered, and scaly friends. Many animals have evolved to sync their behaviors with the lunar cycle. Without the moon, these creatures would face significant challenges. Think about nocturnal animals. They rely on moonlight to hunt, navigate, and avoid predators. In a moonless world, they'd be stumbling in the dark. Take sea turtles, for example. When baby turtles hatch, they use the moon's reflection on the ocean to guide them to the water. Without this celestial signpost, many might never make it to the sea. Similarly, many birds use the moon for navigation during migration. They'd need to develop new strategies to find their way. Many animals use the lunar cycle to time important life events. Corals, for instance, often spawn in sync with the full moon. Without this cue, their reproduction could be thrown into chaos. It's clear that the disappearance of the moon would send shockwaves through Earth's ecosystems. Section 6. Cultural shift. Humanity's moonless nights. Let's turn our gaze to our own species. The moon has been a source of wonder, inspiration, and guidance for humanity since time immemorial. It's featured prominently in our myths, religions, and scientific endeavors. Imagine how our culture would change if the moon suddenly vanished. For starters, our nights would be much darker. The full moon provides about 1/400,000th the light of the sun. That might not sound like much, but it's enough to navigate by on a clear night. Without it, our ancestors might have been more hesitant to venture out after dark. This could have slowed the spread of early humans across the globe. The moon has also been a huge inspiration for art and literature. It's fascinating to consider how different human culture might be without the moon's influence. Section 7. Oceanic Turmoil Seas Without Lunar Influence. Let's dive deeper into the oceans. We've talked about tides, but the moon's influence on our seas goes far beyond that. The regular ebb and flow of tides creates unique ecosystems in intertidal zones. These areas are home to a diverse array of life. Without strong tides, these zones would shrink dramatically. Many species would lose their homes. The moon's gravitational pull helps drive ocean currents. These currents distribute heat and nutrients around the globe. They're crucial for marine life and play a big role in our climate. Without the moon, these currents could slow down or change direction. This could lead to major shifts in marine ecosystems. Many fish species time their spawning with the lunar cycle. Without this cue, their reproduction could be disrupted. This could have a huge impact on fish populations, and on the humans who depend on them for food. Coastal communities around the world would need to adapt to these changes. It's clear that the loss of the moon would have profound effects on our oceans. Section 8. Celestial Navigation Lost in Space. Now, let's look up at the stars. For thousands of years, humans have used the moon and stars to navigate. The moon was particularly useful for this. It's big, bright, and its phases are predictable. Without it, navigation would have been much more challenging for our ancestors. This could have slowed the spread of humans across the globe. Even today, we use the moon for navigation. Many GPS satellites use the moon as a reference point. Without it, we'd need to recalibrate our entire global positioning system. This would affect everything from shipping to your smartphone's Maps app. The moon also helps us understand our place in the solar system. By observing the moon, early astronomers figured out a lot about orbits and gravity. The moon has been a crucial stepping stone in our journey to understand the universe. Section 9. Lunar Protection. The moon as Earth's shield. Here's something you might not have considered. The moon as Earth's bodyguard. Our lunar companion does more than light up the night sky. It also helps protect us from space debris. The moon's gravity attracts some of the asteroids and comets that might otherwise hit Earth. It's like a cosmic shield. Without this protection, Earth would be more vulnerable to impacts. We might see more frequent meteor showers, and potentially more dangerous asteroid strikes. The dinosaurs might have something to say about that if they were still around. Their extinction was likely caused by a massive asteroid impact. With no moon, such events might be more common. The moon also helps protect us from smaller space debris. Micrometeorites constantly bombard Earth's atmosphere. Many of these burn up before reaching the surface. But without the moon, we might see more of this material making it to the ground. It's clear that the moon does more than just look pretty in the sky. Section 10. Astronomical Impacts. Observing a changed universe. Let's zoom out and consider the bigger picture. The moon isn't just important for life on Earth, it's also crucial for our understanding of the universe. Astronomers use the moon as a reference point for many observations. Without it, we'd need to develop new methods for measuring distances in space. The moon also helps us understand other planets and moons. By studying our moon, we've learned a lot about how moons form and evolve. This knowledge helps us interpret what we see when we look at other solar systems. Without our moon as a reference, our understanding of planetary formation might be very different. The moon has also been crucial for testing scientific theories. The moon has driven us to push the boundaries of technology and exploration. Our journey of space exploration would look very different without the moon as our first stepping stone. Section 11. The Long-Term Prognosis. Earth's moonless future. So, what would Earth look like in the long term without its lunar companion? Let's project into the future. Over millions of years, the changes we've discussed would reshape our planet. Earth's axis would become more unstable. This could lead to extreme climate swings. Imagine ice ages followed by periods of intense global warming. The loss of strong tides would alter coastlines dramatically. Some areas that are currently underwater might become exposed, other low-lying areas might flood. This would force massive migrations of both wildlife and human populations. Evolution would kick into high gear. Species that depend on the moon's light or the tides would need to adapt or go extinct. Humans, with our technology, might adapt more quickly. In the very long term, the loss of the moon could even affect Earth's habitability.